Most before we begin, we want to give all praises, glory, and honor to
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Bashem,
Bashem, Yahushua,
Yahushai,
Bashem,
Bashem,
Rakam,
Bakatash.
Kodash, Bonds of the Apostles, the Bonds of the Elders, and Great Millstone, who rule well, and tells us truth. Much respect to you brothers out there, preaching his word and truth and sincerity throughout the full cause of earth. Tabernacle of David that's being risen up right before your very eyes. The hopeful elect and the speckled bird to you and say shalom. All right, let's get into this thing. Indoor camp. And me and the brother was talking about it the other day, with these indoor camps, it's just a spiritual reminder that eventually the Lord's going to draw back and his men is not going to be out there on the highways or byways. The scriptures speak of us not being a reprover unto the people anymore, right? And when that happens, when the Lord draws back, most definitely, I will say the elect will be sealed. Whoever was meant to get this word was meant to get it, right? And that's why you're not supposed to be out here playing around with this walk, with this truth, man, because everybody else is going to get it, right? As you go into Ezekiel 9:4, right? You want that spiritual mark, that tawah, right? That's what the elect is looking for, while everybody else is going to get that physical, right? As you read in Revelation 13, as you read in Revelation 14, what's the judgment when you get that thing in you, you know? So the prudent is going to stay prudent and blowing the trumpet and tell you what time it is. And hey, eventually we ain't going to be out here like that. But yeah, Aki, you got anything?
I got Amos 8 and 11, basically a precept to what you just quoted. It says, Behold, the days come, said the Lord, Yahweh, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing of the words of the Lord. And that's what times we're coming in. It's going to be a time to where we're not going to be doing these live lessons, these camps, sit downs anymore. And then Jake is gonna wonder and question things because at that moment, that's when all hell is gonna be breaking loose. We're not gonna be prophesying to Jake when all hell is breaking loose. That's before the judgment comes from the Lord, man. So now is the time to get this word before all hell break loose, man. There's too many things happening for you not to be seeking Yahweh Bashmiel Shai, man. And you Jakes that know this truth, that heard this truth, you ain't gonna have no excuse. And the word has went out. It made me think of there's another comedian that made another skit about the Hebrew Israelites. I believe I sent that in the chat. His name is the Jake. What's his name? Emmanuel Hudson.
Yeah.
So, Jake heard this truth, man. Everybody knows. So I wouldn't be surprised if real soon, hey, our videos you just can't find them. I wouldn't be surprised or if something happened. What you call it, a black swan event, and hey, it's ain't no more going out to the highways and byways. I would not be surprised. I can read verse 12.
Go ahead,
It says, They shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east, and they shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord and shall not find it. And that day shall the fair virgins and young men faint for thirst. Right? They're going to faint for wisdom and knowledge. Talking about these Israelites out here, man, that don't know this truth or that rejected it. Right? Because they're going to realize that Christianity, Islam, and all these other religions and believing in Esau it ain't gonna profit them in that day, man. Or if they got riches on their side, they ain't gonna do anything while all hell break loose, man.
Yep.
Because they're gonna be the first ones to get devoured and to get trodden down, man. Out here, they're not gonna have no covering.
Yep. This is laying back at what you brought out and what I quoted as well. Ezekiel 3 in verse 26. And I will make thy tongue cleave to the roof of thy mouth, that thou shalt be dumb, and shalt not be to them a reprover, for they are a rebellious house. These are the times that we're coming into, man, right? Where eventually there's going to be a day where we're not going to be out there on the highways and byways. We're not going to be out here doing these sit downs, right? Our job is going to be complete on that part of preaching, right? And we're just going to have to endure Jacob's trouble, right? He that endured to the end, the same shall be saved, right? That's just the other part of the test. Right now, this is just the first part, right? So Jake want to make skits, want to mock, right? Want to laugh at. Well, you don't realize that you're marking yourself, right? You don't realize that at the end of the day, you're going to find out as you read in Wisdom of Solomon 5, you're going to be one of those buddies that's going to be looking up like those were them dudes. You know what I'm saying? As your judgment, or just in general being destroyed. Go ahead, Doc.
Okay, this is Isaiah 55 and verse 6. It says, "Seek ye the Lord while he may be found, and call ye upon him while he is near." Now, Jake, you understand, why does it say that if the Lord is good all the time, or you have access to him all the time? You clearly don't. There's a time to where the Lord, he ain't gonna show no mercy. If you're
Yep,
not part of his elect, ain't nothing good coming to you. It's gonna be just straight, belt to ass, as Jake said, in the world, man. That's what it's gonna be. But we talking about the Heavenly Father, man. So it ain't gonna be nothing that you can think of that's gonna get you judged, man. It's gonna be something a lot worse, man, because we come into the worst time ever. Time of great tribulation, to where you gonna need divine intervention. You ain't gonna be able to save yourself, Jake. Think about all the things that happened in the past, with us going through the transatlantic slave trade, the different captivities and all the different wars. It's gonna be worse than that. In the
yep,
movies that you see, and you think that you're gonna be able to shoot your way out or fight your way out, hey, let's see what you could do, Jake. Let's see.
yep. Like I had a dream about that years ago. You know, Jake was bearing arms. They probably got one or two of super soldiers out there or whatever soldier, and the rest got mowed down. They scattered, and that's what's in store for you because that's not your blessing, Jake. Your blessing is being spiritual, and what comes with being spiritual is spiritual power, right? Not by carnal means. You're not going to be saved by carnal means. In Shalom Maki Habashmi Shabrakata,
Shalom, Yabashim Shabakata.
I got this in Isaiah 6 and verse 9. And he said, "Go tell this people, hear ye indeed, but understand not, see ye indeed, but perceive not. Make the heart of this people fat, make the ears heavy, shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and convert and be healed." You see, the Lord doesn't want everybody to be converted and healed, right? He has a certain sect of people that is meant to get this message, meant to get this truth, right? And take heed to it, right? The rest, he wants them to be destroyed, right? If you actually read the scriptures, if you actually understand the scriptures, the Lord, the Lord operates like that, right? He doesn't love everybody, all right? There's people that's within this, that's already prophesied to be destroyed, right? Then said, "I, Lord, how long?" And he answered me, and he answered, "Until the cities be waste without inhabitant, and the houses without man, and the land be utterly desolate." You see? So this is part that goes into there's going to be a large set of people that's going to have to learn the hard way of what we've been saying is the truth. When they see the nuclear missiles, when they see a front door or back door being broken into, right? And them being hauled off into those concentration camps. Yeah, they're gonna be wishing that they took heed. But yeah, Arky, if you got anything.
Okay, I'm gonna get Romans 11 and verse 7, right? Because this is only for the elect. You know, the majority of our people, they're not gonna get this, man. They're gonna scoff and mock. You know, Salaki to the end. You know, all hell break loose. You know, Jake don't be listening to. It's literally at their doorstep, man. You know, you gonna want to call the Lord when Ice Cube is at your door. You know, trying to kick it down. Well, you wasn't seeking the Lord all this time, and you walked past the camp. You said no, nobody want to hear that shit like that one Jake from a couple years ago. You
Yep,
know, you you try to fight the Lord's men. It don't work like that. You know, it's only for the elect, man. The elect is gonna hear this and repent and turn from their wickedness. It says, what then Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded. You see, that's how the Lord operates, man. He got the elect and the non-elect. The non-elect, hey, they're purposely in that lot. It's not on accident. It's not a coincidence. It's a divine thing that the Lord has going on, man. And we hope that we a part of the righteous number of the elect. That's what we hope we a part of. Because it's really about predestination. It ain't according to your straight works. Is the elect is gonna do the works that's required, but they're predestinated to be saved anyway.
yep. Like the scriptures say, greetings to the elect
Uh,
scattered abroad. Just roughly paraphrasing the scriptures, right? Like the brother said, the elect is already predestined to get this truth. They're already going to be conformed to this truth, right? They're going to hear it and be like, yeah, that's the truth. Like me and the brother was talking about it. You know, when we heard the names, it's like, bam, yeah, that's it. This is the truth. Walk ye in it, right? But I got this right here in End Time News. ICE purchases a 400K square warehouse facility in Arizona for 70 million. Right? What's that going to be used for, man? What's that going to be used for? Right? The scriptures speak of the devil shall cast some of you into prison, right? And you shall be tried. What's that? 7 days or 10 days? Matter of fact, I'm gonna just get it.
gone.
Just get
Got
it.
got them shut down. It's like a partial government shutdown right now.
Mm-hmm.
So and then they purchased that. So they purposely want these things to happen, man. That's their plan is to take a lot of you people, man, and off you, man, and torture you in these camps. But it's really the judgment of the Lord, man, because these people out here are evil, man. And a lot of you Jakes, you going off, you wicked. So you have no use for the Lord, man. The Lord has no use for you, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So he's gonna treat you like the heathen out here, man. And that's not a good thing. That's terrible. We
Yep.
don't want that, man. We want to be delivered.
I got it right here. Revelation 2 and verse 10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I'll give thee a crown of life. And he that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit said unto the churches. He that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death. Right? So, yeah, some of the men of the Lord may be thrown into the concentration camps, the prisons, wherever they got. Right? But the difference is, as you read in 2nd Ezra 7, right? The elect is going to go through the fire and look up. The 2/3, when they get thrown into these concentration camps, these prison centers, right? They're going to be seeking death and shall not find it, right? They're not going to be understand what's going on, right? They're going to be crying and wailing, and they're going to get jacked up, right? We understand it's a test of your faith, right? The Lord testing His product, see if you believe in Me, see what you've been saying out there on the highways and byways and doing your lessons is the truth, right? Or was it all talk, right? But yeah, the 2/3 is going to get jacked up and destroyed in that day, right? And you're going, you have many examples of the men of the Lord within the scriptures that were thrown into prison and broke out, right? Rather
Uh,
the angel, earthquake, right? However means, right? Brothers had dreams about it, right? of getting out of prison. So, you know, the elect is gonna be hoping for wide. 2/3 is gonna be man, they gonna be bugging out. Extra bugging out in that day.
Okay, I got this in 2 Corinthians 4 and verse 3. It says, "But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, and whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of our Mashiach, who is the image of Yahweh, should shine unto them." You see, so that's proven as well that the Lord purposely has the 2/3 in their lot, man. It's hid to those that are lost. He wants them to be lost because he doesn't want them, right? They're trash right now. They're not gold.
Yep,
They're like that 10, that needs to be done away with, man. They don't have no benefit to the Lord, man. They too far gone. The average Jake out here, man, they still in Christianity. They still and that God loves everybody. They love everybody's spirit, man. The Lord's not dealing with that, man.
yep,
All these judgments happening on the earth, and you still thinking that God's just, you know, all love and he's just gonna save everybody. No, man. There's things happening every day, and you got this orange tangerine man, in the White House. He's showing you how he really feels and how he gets down, and you got Jake still playing games,
yep.
or thinking that it ain't gonna happen to him. And I've been seeing a lot of videos as well of Southern Kingdom Jakes talking about some, Northern Kingdom Jakes ain't, the same people. We are the same people.
Yep.
Just because a lot of them are lighter, well, it is what it is.
That's
Jake's
through
still
captivity,
in the
man.
mindset, man. But you also got a lot of Jakes coming together too on both sides,
Yeah,
especially when there's truth, right? Because the 2/3, you got 2/3 of the Northern Kingdom and Southern Kingdom.
yep.
They all in that 2/3 club, the ones that's not in this truth. And they're gonna do what a 2/3 does, be wicked, continue living in their sin, right, until the end. And then they're gonna get grabbed up and taken
Hmm.
to the FC camps. And hey, so long with you, man. I forgot about Alcatraz. Is it Alcatraz Island or something?
Uh, crocodile. Was it
Yeah.
alligator?
Yeah, I think that's what it was. I kind of forgot about that.
Yep.
So don't forget about that one too, man. If that's one of them we know about. What about all the other ones we don't know about? We don't even know, man. They may have something where, how you have the eels in the water, they like electric and stuff. Hey, man, the judgment of the Lord is terrible, man.
Yep.
Let me get that real quick, Ock.
Yep.
You
Go
know,
ahead, brother.
you Jake's about to really see how terrible the Lord is, man. And you Jake's is gonna know that the Lord did that to you, man. This is Psalms 47 in verse 2. It says, "For the Lord Most High is terrible. He's a great king over all the earth." You see, you Jake's about to see that how terrible and scary the Lord is, man. You gonna know you gonna know that you did something wrong, man. The Lord gonna make you know before you die that you messed up, but it's too late. And you
Hmm.
gonna you gonna walk with your head down in the kingdom. Yeah, in the kingdom you gonna be good, but you gonna know what you did on this side, and you gonna be ashamed for that. You
Yep.
know, we want to be the elect that's shining, that's got more access to certain things in the kingdom. Versus an Israelite that died on this side and got judged horribly, man. We don't want to be the Israelites, man.
Yep. I got this right here. Hey, remember the doomsday clock? It says it's closer than ever.
Uh,
Right. That's how you know this man ain't fit for rulership. Because why do you have a doomsday clock? Right. If your kingdom was meant to be prosperous, was meant to be beautiful, you would not have a doomsday clock. So even they themselves know the time is short, as the scriptures speak of. The devil knoweth that he has but a short time, right? It's getting closer and over. I got this article right here, and it reads Violent mob swarms federal detention center as LA protests spiral out of control, right? And the elders say, hey, we're in Jacob's trouble. Yeah, things are getting heated up out here.
hey, just wait till the summer come, man. When it get hot,
Yeah,
hey, who knows how bad it's gonna be?
Yeah, it gets hotter. The
People get turned up when they get hot outside. People be
yep,
doing all types of wickedness.
spirits get turned up. Let's see. According to the breaking report, the Los Angeles Department moved swiftly to arrest multiple individuals described as violent agitators. And sometimes it can be true, and sometimes, with the fake news, you know how they move. Late Friday night, as protesters outside the federal detention center in downtown Los Angeles ascended into chaos. The clash marked the latest flashpoint in ongoing nationwide unrest surrounding the Trump administration immigration enforcement policies. The local authorities now openly defy the state mandates regarding federal corporation to maintain public safety. So yeah, as the brother said, just wait till the sun comes out, wait till it gets warmer out here. Those spirits is really gonna flare up. If it's already happening like this when it's cold outside, imagine. Like it's really gonna get turned up. And that's why you must, as you brought out earlier, brother, seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Right? Call ye upon him. Right? Because eventually it's gonna spill out to everywhere. Right? What we seeing in Minneapolis is just a sign of things to come. Right? That's gonna be everywhere. This is in LA. So yeah, that's gonna be everywhere. Right? I believe they had flyers going around even over here saying, going to protest.
Yeah,
You
they
know what
they
I'm
been
saying?
doing a little protesting down here. I don't think it ain't that bad out
Yeah,
here or nothing, but they like doing like a, I guess, a calm protest because they not out destroying stuff, and you don't got the Ice Cube boys out here taking people out. At least they
yeah,
are going after Northern Kingdom out here, but they're not like taking them out. At least it's not on the news, that we know of.
yeah.
It could be. I wouldn't be surprised because that's what
Mhm.
times be in.
Yeah, probably not on the large scale as it is in other places, but with the climate, yeah, I'm pretty sure they're still out here, you know, grabbing up Jake. Did you see that little Jake, the little what was it, 3-year-old kindergarten, and his father get detained, you
Con.
know? Hey, as you brought out, the Lord is terrible, you know. As you read in Ezekiel, matter of fact, I'm gonna just get it. I'm gonna just go ahead and get it. Ezekiel 9 and verse 4, right? We often bring this out, especially in the times that we living in. Ezekiel 9 and verse 4. And the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. Right? The Lord only has a select few of men, and the elect, men, women, and children, that's out here sighing and crying. They're going to get that spiritual mark, that the wall, that mark of exemption. And that's what we searching for. That's what at Yahweh desire we get, right? Because that little boy, however old he was, 3 years old, kindergarten, whatever age he was, he got jacked up. Him and his father for 2 weeks. And if I'm not mistaken, they're either still detained or they're still in custody, and the people is fighting for them to get out. As we read in verse 5, and the others, he said in my hearing, go you after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. You brought out, brother. The Lord is terrible, right? Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women, but come not near any man upon whom the mark is, and begin at my sanctuary. Then it began at the ancient men, which were before the house, right? So the Lord is not a respecter of persons. It doesn't matter if you're a little boy. Doesn't matter if you're an old man, right? As we was watching the KC brothers the other day, right? Um, one of the brothers said, you know, the woman that he was dealing with, her grandfather got detained, and they shaved his head bald, and he had all them scratch marks on him, man. So he was getting jacked up, right? So you jakes that don't want to take heed, you want to keep worshiping Jesus, right? All these other gods, right? The Virgin Mary, right? That white boy, you're going to get destroyed. You're going to be touched. You're going to feel the wrath of the Lord, and we're not going to feel sorry for you. Matter of fact, as you read in Proverbs 1, we're going to be laughing at you because you laughed at us.
God.
It's like every time we get on here, you got a person over here saying, "What are y'all wearing?" You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you always got some weirdo bots on here.
Yeah, yeah. It's either a bot or a real person. Regardless, you know, we ain't entertaining that, but you know, we're not going back and forth with these morons. You know, you'll understand as I gave a couple scriptures earlier. You'll understand in the end what we wearing and why we doing what we doing.
Yeah, well, we ain't even gonna mention the other comment, man. It's
Yeah,
just folly and madness. But I got Jeremiah 15 in verse 1. It says, then said the Lord unto me, though Moses and Samuel stood before me, yet my mind cannot be toward this people, and cast them out of my sight and let them go forth. And it shall come to pass, if they say unto thee, whither shall we go forth? Then shalt thou tell them, thus saith the Lord, such are as for death to death, and such are for the sword to the sword, and such are for the famine to the famine, and such are for captivity to the captivity. So you got different judgments that's gonna take place in this time, man. You got some Jakes that ain't gonna get taken to a FC camp, but you got some Jakes that's gonna die of famine, some Jakes that's gonna die from the sword right on the spot. You got different ways that the Lord's gonna do this thing, man.
yeah,
That's why he's terrible, man, because you just don't know how you gonna go out if you a part of that number to be destroyed. That's the scary part. And y'all gonna fear Esau, man. The scriptures tell us not to fear, but a lot of y'all Jakes is gonna fear him because you don't fear the Lord, and you're not gonna have no covering. And
yep.
he gonna get to experiment on you like he did. What do you call it? Tuskegee experiment
Tuskegee experiment. Yep.
when he was injecting Jake with a lot of different diseases and stuff. Hey, he gonna do that same thing in his time, but worse. He gonna get to play with you, in all different types of ways, man. I just found out a couple of days ago that koalas, I believe it's koalas, they have syphilis, which is a STD, man.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of STDs they come from animals, so they say. But we know how this man gets down,
Hmm.
and this man's gonna have his way with you, man, in these
Yeah.
concentration camps, man, because he did it when we was in chattel slavery. How much more this time, when you get completely judged, man, he gonna do a lot of stuff to you when he got that white coat on and the big science goggles, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's gonna be terrible, man. You do not want that, man. You Jakes that you're gonna escape. You're not gonna escape.
Yep.
This man has a DEW. You know, he got a weapon that he can shoot from the sky. And you
Yep.
thinking that you gonna shoot your way out or you gonna fight against him? It ain't gonna happen, Jake. It's not Jake, thinking that, oh, you just scared, you just a punk. No, we just believe in Yahweh Shai. We believe in
Yep.
what the scriptures say, man. We gonna be like, Lord willing, like King David against Goliath, because Esau, he got all this power and all this control over these resources. The Lord put us in this position. Does not the scripture say that we're a worm? I believe it
Hmm.
says that.
If you want to get that out.
Let me get that real quick. I believe it's in the book of Isaiah, right?
Yeah.
And a worm is defenseless, man. They don't have no arms, no legs. They can't do anything. You can
Hmm.
step on the worm. We're a lot bigger than the worm. A worm is just on the ground. You can just step on it with your combat boot or your shoe, and then he's dead. That's how, Esau is over us as far as on the physical level, not spiritually, but he got all the advantages that we don't have.
Yep.
But this is Isaiah 41 in verse 14, it says, "Fear not, thou worm Jacob, and ye men of Israel, I will help thee, said the Lord, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel." You see, the Lord causes a worm because we don't have no defense against this man at the physical level, right? But our weapons are spiritual, right? The names Yahweh Shemel Shai, and some men gonna get that spiritual power, man. You
Yep.
know, Shalom, Malak, Yahweh Shemel Shabbat.
Hey, Shalom Malak, Yahweh Shemiah Shabbat.
He just got released, and him and his father.
Kind. Yeah. I was figured that regardless, that's a showing, man. Jake is gonna get jacked up, man.
Uh,
Regardless of your age, right? Old man, little child. If you're not fearing the Lord, you don't have that spiritual mark the why, you're gonna get jacked up. You're gonna get touched, Jake. The Lord ain't playing with you, Jakes, right? Y'all are gonna be touched. But yeah, did you have any more on that? Or was you good?
I'll get verse 15. It says, "Behold, I will make thee a new sharp threshing instrument having teeth, and thou shalt thresh the mountains and beat them small, and shall make the hills as chaff." And that's that spiritual power that the man of the Lord is getting ready to get, man, when these times come, right? The Lord gonna lift up that standard. And then these people gonna be scared out here, man. And they gonna still, try to fight and do what they gonna do because
Yep.
they at the end, but the Lord's gonna lift up that standard for the elect, and they're gonna be able to escape these situations, right? Because you have to be in trouble to be saved out of it. You ain't gonna be saved and you not in trouble. That doesn't make sense, you know.
hmm Let's see. I'm gonna get this right here in Ezekiel 7. It's Ezekiel 7 in verse 3. Now is the end come on upon thee. I will send my anger upon thee, and I will judge thee according to thy ways, and I will recompense upon thee all thine abominations. Because Jake won't play around. Jake want to keep on making these skits, joking on us, right? Jake want to still be in Christianity. Jake want to still worship these other gods of Winterstone. I'm gonna just say it like that, right? So since you want to do that, Keisha want to still kill her children. You know, Jake about to get it now. As I said earlier, the doomsday clock is getting closer and closer. That time of trouble, that wide scale time of trouble is going to come, man. It's going to be amplified out here, and you're going to fear the Lord, man. You're going to feel his wrath. You're going to feel his pain. Verse 4, and my eyes shall not spare thee, neither will I have pity, but I will recompense thy ways upon thee, and thy abominations shall be in the midst of thee, and ye shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai. You see, you gonna know the Lord in that day. Since you don't want to take heed and know the Lord now, you're going to know the Lord by his recompense upon you, upon your head. Thus saith Yahweh power, and evil, and only evil, behold, is come. And the end is come, the end is come, and watch it for thee, behold, it is come. The morning is come unto thee, O thou dwellest in the land. The time is come, the day of trouble is near, and not the sounding again of the mountains. You see, that time of trouble is coming, Jake. If you don't want to take heed, man. Um, Verse 8, now will I shortly pour out my fury upon thee, and I will accomplish. You see, the Lord said, I'm gonna accomplish my anger, man. It's no maybe, it's no might. It's already prophesied to happen. As Ezra was asking the Lord, and the Lord was telling him, don't don't be mindful of who's going to be destroyed. Take heed to the ones that take heed to the ones that's leading you. Just roughly paraphrasing, to righteousness, man, to escape this incoming judgment, right? Let's get it again. And accomplish my anger upon thee, and I will judge thee according to thy ways, and recompense thee for all thy abominations. Is the last verse I'm gonna get, verse 9. And my eyes shall not spare, neither will I have pity. I will recompense thee according to thy ways and thine abominations in the midst of thee, and ye shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh Shah that smitteth. You see, they're going to see at the end, man. They're going to see. They're going to find out the hard way that they should have took heed. And the Lord's going to jack them up. Scriptures say the Lord loveth judgment, man. They're going to feel the wrath of the Lord's judgment. They want to mock. They want to scoff. They want to laugh, right? They want to keep on serving these other gods of wood and stone. They're going to be destroyed. They're going to be taken out. They're going to feel the wrath of the Lord. And that's coming, Jake, right? That is coming. And Shalom, Mak Yahweh Shemiel Shabrak.
Shalom, Yahweh. This is so like this is Psalms 9 and verse 16. It says, "The Lord is known by the judgment which he executed. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands." So through their actions that they have executed upon the earth, they're going to be judged by their ways, right? All these wicked Israelites, all these heathen out here, man, that's doing what they do on a day-to-day basis, right? The Lord's going to judge them, and eventually they're going to know the God of the Israelites did this, man. And I thought about that scene. I forgot what the movie is called. I think it's called The Mist. But the
Yeah, yeah,
Edomite woman, she says something about the God of the Israelites. You
yep.
know, we got the monsters and stuff outside. You know, I don't want to say too much if you haven't seen the movie, but go watch that movie, Jake. She says that in the scene. She says the God of the Israelites. She pretty much says that he's the one doing this, man. And it's gonna be like that in real life, but a lot worse because that's just the movie, right? And Esau can only fathom and understand so much because he ain't the man of the Lord. He understands things, but he don't have the wisdom that the men of the Lord have, and he don't have that connection with the Most High. He's on the
Yep.
left hand side, and he's seeking left hand means to do certain things, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's just what it made me think of when I read that scripture, man. People gonna understand that the God of Israelites did this, man.
Yep. And that reminds me, as you read in Wisdom of Solomon, it expounds more on what happened in the land of Egypt when we were captives upon those damn Hamites, right? It talks about that thick darkness, man. So thick that you can you can touch it, man. And all the hallucinations and the people bugging out, the people dying from hearing this and hearing that, and as you watch the movie Mist, that's kind of like a showing of what's going to happen, man. As the brother said, the God of the Israelites. Hey, that time of judgment is coming, man. You know, people is about to fear the wrath of the Lord, man. The wrath of the Lord is about to be felt. There's nothing new under the sun, so don't be surprised if that thick darkness comes here and Babylon the Great, because Babylon the Great is just a conglomerate of all the nations in the past. It's added this, it's added that. You know, it's just a whole amalgamation. Matter of fact, you go into Babel, all right, which is confusion. It's just a whole mess, a whole mix of confusion over here, man. Like you got Jake over here. They don't know what the hell they are, man, or just the people in general. They'd be like, I had a one cousin that said this, man. I'm mixed with this, and that, and that. Like, nigga, that's confusion, man. You know?
What you a drink, Jake?
Yeah. You're a damn dog.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And in the instance, they are, since they don't want to take heed to this truth. But you are whoever their father is. And that was me when I was young in the truth. Of course, when you're young in the truth, you want to tell everybody, the truth. And, I was like, hey, the scriptures say, hey, you believe the scriptures, right? You so-called Christian. Let me bring out this scripture right here, right? Numbers 1 and 18. You are whoever your father is. You know what I'm saying? And of course, Jake being in Christianity, it goes through one ear and not the other. You know. But like I said, when you young in the truth, you want to tell everybody and their mamas that they're the truth. If you're wise, you don't do that. You just do your lessons, go out here on the highways and byways and do the work. And whoever's meant to take heed, right, meant to get that fishing line, right, get that hook, they're meant to get it, right? We're not beating them over the head with it, because you'll find out, Jake is conformed to the world. Jake loves his confusion. Jake loves Babylon. They love saying I'm half this, I'm half that, and I got a quarter of this. No, that's you're bugged out, Jake. Who's your father, right? Who's your father? The Lord deals with spirits, right? The Lord doesn't deal with you know when you go into it. I'm getting ahead of myself. The Lord says the Edomites have a huge judgment prepared for them, man. Not an Edomite that's half Jake and half Moabite and half the no, the Edomite race. You are whoever your father is. The Lord ain't dealing with that confusion. It's sloggy, y'all. I had to get that off my chest, man.
Yeah, a
Y'all
lot of
y'all
these
niggas
Jakes,
is done.
man, they like I don't know, they like dark Edomites.
Yeah,
That's what they are, man. They like Esau. Esau, he's a fugitive and a vagabond, like it says in Genesis. They want to cleave to all these other identities, and that's how Jake is too. In a sense, because Jake don't understand what they are, but it goes back to what I brought out in Second Corinthians. If this gospel be hid, is hid to them that are lost, and Jake is lost as hell, man. You got Jace that's fighting tooth and nail to still eat pork or
yeah,
to celebrate these folly days, and the truth of where it goes back to. You see all these videos of, explaining to you step by step, or it goes back to this society like the Babylonians or the ancient Sumerians. You
yeah.
know all these things, but you just, I don't care. I'm gonna do it anyway. Nothing's happened
Mhm.
to me. Well, they don't say anything when ICE grabs your ass up, man.
Yeah,
We're not gonna pray for you. Your ass want to be wicked. You don't want to worship Yahweh Shemir and he's your God. You an Israelite, but you want to worship other gods, but the Lord's gonna destroy you. There's
yep.
no nice way to say that.
It reminds me of years ago, which I've said this plenty of times. That Jake that was riding his bike, with his family, he came over to the camp spot and he about had a heart attack when I told him, you can't eat that pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, man. He about had a heart attack, man. Like, what do you mean I can't eat that, man? Yeah, we're not supposed to be eating that. Jake is always going about, oh man, my diabetes runs in my family, high blood pressure runs in my family. It's your diet. It's
Yeah,
what you're eating, you know? It's you're eating all these abominable foods, and it doesn't help that over here in Babylon the Great, the food is defiled. So you really ain't getting all the nutrients that you need, you know? Add that to you eating all these abominable foods. That's why your health ain't good. That's why you coughing up all these loogies at work. If you ever see these people, they always coughing up loogies, always coughing, and your diet is trash, right? You're doing all that smoking, you're doing all this, you're not exercising, you're not eating healthy to the best of your ability, you know. Your diet is trash and you're eating all these abominable foods. That's why all these diseases so-called run in your family. They don't run in your family. Your diet is trash. And as an Israelite, they're going to affect us more than other nations. The other nations can eat what they want, right? But in the kingdom, they either going to lay down or get down, man. Right? With
yeah,
the
Jake, you
program.
can't do what these heathen do, Salakiak.
You good, brother? I was done.
You ever see these video of these damn Moabites? They don't got no damn shirt on, or these Hamites, they got like a damn uh like a like something over covering their chest. They just got like a little, I don't know what you call it. It look like a skirt to me, but they eating the monkey, man.
Yeah.
You can't do that, Jake. You gonna get sick. And you might die, These
Mhm.
heathen, they can do stuff like they can pick up a damn a puffer fish that's poisoned and bite the head off and swallow it whole, man, and not get sick, man, and they still moving about, man. Jake, you can't do that. It reminds me of my father one time. I think he told me he ate some squid or pork, and he ain't the truth. He still eats stuff like that, and that just proves that he's hard headed. But I forgot which one it was, squid or pork. He said he got sick right afterwards because you ain't supposed to be
Yeah,
eating that.
yeah,
You know,
exactly.
Jake, man.
I believe there's a new disease going around, and it's coming from pork. I had to look it up again. Let me see if I put in like new disease. Let me look it up.
I ate squid before I was in the troop before, and I was like, man, this shit is nasty, man. I was just trying to, be, I guess, different or whatever, but I wasn't the truth then. And I looked at it and I was like, Jake second guesses a lot of things that they know it's not right, but if the spirit's not on you, you gonna do wickedness. But you know, I didn't eat it after that. I only ate it like once, and I was like, hell no, I'm not doing this shit again. We ain't like
Yeah,
that one Jake Bernard that be frying all these weird foods,
man.
man. He an Edomite, man.
Yeah, yeah. Me and the brother said, yeah, dude's probably an Edomite. He got to be eating all
Yeah.
that, eating bear, because I've seen where these Edomites, they've eaten bear, they eaten coyote, and they said it has like a real bad gamey taste because those animals, they eat other animals, man. Right? They're not getting nutrients from plants for the most part. Now you may see like a dog, or, well, a bear is an omnivore, but still, it's it's abomination unto you to eat. It's
Con.
not gonna taste good.
A
That's what
lot of
I'm.
them, a lot of them have like tapeworms and parasites. You
Yeah,
can't even cook it out of the bear meat. You know.
yeah, yeah. Like these animals, it's you're not supposed to be eating it, Jake. Just plain and simple, man.
I wouldn't be surprised if he ate a vulture. I would not be surprised.
Oh man, if he ate a vulture, he'll probably die because you go
Yeah.
into the intestine system of how the vulture makeup is. They can eat anything raw. It's been rotten for months. A vulture can eat that, and it secretes um, some type of fluid on its talons and within its body. So it's very corrosive. It's Yeah, you eat that, you're done. Because even the scriptures say, you're not supposed to eat the vulture. You eat the vulture, you're done. Prepare for a casket. Because they're made to clean up the world of dead carcasses. That's their job. Like the pig can eat pretty much anything. Matter of fact, when you go into the pig, it can be bitten by a poisonous snake and not die. Matter of fact, it'll turn around and eat that poisonous snake, man. Right? You go into scriptures is very heavy, man. It may not go into huge detail on why you shouldn't eat these animals, but when you actually observe the animals, like the scriptures speak of, like observe the ant, observe this animal, you see why the Lord says not to eat these things, man. you know, it goes very, very deep. But I got this disease right here. It's a new disease that's out here. I believe it's called Nephah. Is a zootonic virus primarily transmitted to humans. Slakia. Primarily transmuted to humans from fruit bats and pigs.
They doing the same playbook with 2020. They said it started from bats. So I
Yeah,
can cut you off.
you good, brother? Yeah, I was just thinking about that, man. This is 2020, but worse. So it's not just from fruit bats this time. It's from pigs. And often through contaminated food like raw date palm sap, symptoms begin with a fever and respiratory distress, but can quickly progress to fatal brain swelling known as, let me see how to pronounce that. Let me see if I slide here. Let me, because it normally has like a pronunciation. Let me see. Let me see how to pronounce that. Slide here.
Also, I want to mention before you get that, a lot of diseases in the past too. I remember there was some called H1N1, and they had other ones as well. But
Encephalitis.
okay,
Encephalitis.
uh,
Yep.
a lot of them they come from pork. They just showing you, they mocking you really because they allow you Jakes to eat it. They got it all on commercials. You know, pork this, bacon that. It's all on the damn hamburgers and stuff, and it's just everywhere. But then they also telling you that diseases is coming from pork at the same time. But
Yep.
you Jakes don't care.
Yep. And that's why, matter of fact, I'm gonna get this right here in Ezekiel 7 in verse 22. My face will I turn also from them, and they shall pollute my secret place, for the robbers shall enter into it and defile it. Make a chain, for the land is full of bloody crimes, and the city is full of violence. Wherefore I will bring the worst of the heathen, and they shall possess their houses, and I will make the pomp of the strong to cease, and their holy places to be defiled. Right? Bringing this out because Esau Edom is coming, man. Right? These other UN troops, these foreign troops that's stationed here in Babylon the Great, right? ICE as well. And they coming for your ass, man. Since you don't want to take heed. Verse 25, destruction cometh, and they that seek peace, and there shall be none. You see that? It's not going to be any peace for you, Jakes, man. As the scriptures say, the day of the Lord is as if, you escape a bear and you run into a poisonous snake, just roughly paraphrasing the scriptures, man. It's going to be all hell. You might escape one place and run, and it's all hell breaking loose over here. Let me get this right here too. Verse 26: mischief shall come upon mischief, and rumor upon rumor. Then shall they seek a vision of the prophet, but the law shall perish from the priests and counsel from the ancients. You see, they're going to be searching after the men of the Lord. They're going to be searching for your pastors, these false prophets, and they're not going to get an answer. The false prophets not going to tell you what's going on. These pastors not going to be knowing what's going on because they be giving you sweet baby baby JC, telling you that you're just going to get beamed up and you won't have to go through any trouble. Well, we just read they shall seek peace and shall not find it, right? Let's see, verse 27. The king shall mourn, and the princes shall be clothed with desolation. So even you, Jakes, on high, your LeBron James, right? Me and the brother was talking about Derrick Rose the other day. Hey, if he don't take heed, hey, he gonna be in that too. All your favorite basketball players, all your favorite superstars, right? Doesn't matter what position they in, right? Whatever type of these lesser luminaries, they're going to get touched. In the hands of the people of the land shall be troubled. I will do unto them after their way, and according to their desert, I will judge them, and they shall know that I am the Lord. That's coming, Jake. That's heavy. Heavy judgment is coming unto y'all since y'all don't want to take heed. But yeah, go ahead, Doc, if you got anything.
All right, Con. I got when we were talking about the vulture, I got like the description of their digestive system and how it works. It's an AI overview. It says vultures possess an exceptionally specialized digestive system capable of consuming rotten disease, ridden carrion without illness. It says featuring a gizzard with a highly acidic pH of 0 to 1, similar to battery acid. It dissolves bones and kills pathogens like anthrax, uh, botulism, and chorilla. Like if I pronounced it.
Are you good, brother?
The gut microbiome also tolerates and utilizes rather than destroys certain toxic bacteria to aid digestion. So it actually helps certain forms of bacteria, that they consume when they eat it. It helps their digestive system. That's how the Lord made them, you know? And it's also proven with these animals, man, just how they operate and how they are made, man. You can't say there's not no God, man, because who created these animals to do these things and the way they constructed, man? Somebody created it, and somebody
Yep.
knew what they was doing when they created it, you know. But it says right here it says extreme stomach acid, the gastric juices, primarily hydrochloric acid, are among the strongest in the animal kingdom, destroying most pathogens. So, hey, you could probably feed the damn. I'm just making an example. A damn vulture, some I don't know, some type of Ebola or something, and they ain't nothing gonna happen to them, man. They gonna be
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
That's how they get down.
Most definitely. That's how strong their digestive system is.
I ain't
Yeah.
going near no vulture.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna let them. I'm gonna let them do them. Because you only really see them when there's some dead on the ground, like a deer or a raccoon. They like swarm in a circle, and those are some big birds too. They'll just fly right down to the dead, carcass, and they'll just start munching on it. And they
Yep.
do their thing, and they fly away, and they go wherever. I don't know where they be at, because they some big birds, but they be gone.
Well, with them being big birds, I believe you have this bird called the condor, which
Con,
is
con.
also a vulture as well. And you go into it, how big they are, and and you said how you don't really see them a lot unless there's a dead animal. Well, because you go into a vulture, they can be up there where the planes are, just about. And matter of fact, a lot of planes get damaged because they run into vultures, right?
con.
And so that's why you don't see them, because they're high up in the sky a lot, and they don't have to do a lot of flapping. With that huge wingspan, they just do like one flap, and they're flying. They're flying for miles. So yeah, that's why you don't see them a lot. And they got eyes like, they got them telescope eyes, and I'm pretty sure a strong sense of smell. So you know, an animal is dying just about every day. So they're out there scoping out their prey, and as the scriptures speak of, the Lord feeds the birds.
Con.
And the times that we coming into, if the Lord feeds the birds, how much more is if he's how much more that he's going to do for his men of the Lord, right? Those that's seeking him and praising him, right? Making their call and election sure, right? The scriptures speak of there's going to be some men out there that's going to be so protected that not even one hair on their head is going to be touched, man. So hey, we're in some beautiful times. We're nearing the end, you know, and you Jakes that want to eat whatever you want to eat, you want to do you, as Jake will say in the world. All right, do you and see what's going to happen, man. You're going to be jacked up. You're going to fear the Lord in that day. You're going to learn to properly fear the Lord in that day.
You got a lot of animals that the Lord created. The Lord created them for vengeance, as it says in the book of Sirach. A lot of these animals, man, they was meant to kill. I mean, outside of what they do every day, that's just what they do. That's what the Lord created them for. Because you go in the book of Revelations, that's gonna be a great feast for the
Yep,
birds because of all the dead carcasses laying around, man. Them vultures is definitely gonna be a part of that. They're gonna have a good supper, man.
yep,
You bodies out here that's out here on the ground. You gonna see you gonna probably see all the vultures that you didn't even know existed come out. We make it that far, we party elect. I'm like, damn, where all these vultures come from? There's hundreds and thousands of them. Because usually, I feel like I usually maybe see like maybe 4 or 5 of them or something in a circle eating
Yep.
something.
Yep.
But then you may have a whole family line come to the supper, man, eating the dead body.
Yeah, you go into it, they're actually very sociable animals. So, like you said, their whole family line. Yeah, you go and see Yahweh of those men. You gonna see their whole family line and more having a great feast, man. And those are going to be a lot of those people that died are going to partake in an unhonorable death. You see, you don't want that, man. An unhonorable death. If you have to die, die honorably, right? That's what you want, man. Because you want to get the kingdom. You gonna get those new bodies, right? The first that died in the Mashiach shall be risen up first. So regardless, you win. What's the point of taking the MOTB, man? When you gonna be through?
Con.
You're gonna be through regardless, man. You're gonna get a fiery death or whatever. You say something, you do something that Esau Edom doesn't want, your thing is off. So now you got the sea hip in you. You're broke, you're homeless and dusty, and you're still gonna eat a missile, man. What's the point, man? So, hey, Yahweh Design, we stay within this thing until the end, man.
That Mr. Beast dude, man, he was making it seem like it's gonna be everything. That's not a surprise that he's doing that. Look at the influence that he has. He has millions of subscribers on YouTube. He's very well known, and a lot of these YouTubers they're like the new celebrities, the new rappers and stuff like that. They're that popular.
Yep.
You know, I think he has the most subs on YouTube, if I'm not mistaken, out of all these social media influencers, man.
Yeah.
So he's just one of the very few that's gonna be utilized to push this thing, man. You're gonna have a lot of other celebrities. Don't be surprised if hey, you see LeBron, hey, this man, he been, in the NBA for a long time, and yeah, he got natural talent. He's Jake, but you know, he gonna be utilized, man. LeBron, he's on that payroll. He got to do what Esau tell him to do, man. He didn't been in the game in the wicked game too long, man. To say no, man. I've been hearing a lot of other people say that he don't want to retire because he might have to sacrifice somebody, which it may be the case, because hey, you in the limelight and you in it for that long. You got all these accolades and stuff. That don't happen for no reason, man.
Yeah.
It don't happen for no reason. This nigga never got injured for real. Not no major injury. Hey, he definitely doing some stuff behind the scenes, man. That's helping him stay up this long and be still in the game at 40 years old, man. That
Yeah.
LeBron, he ain't a party elect, man. He gonna be destroyed. He got his riches, he got his fame and notoriety on his side, and
Yep.
in the kingdom, we're not gonna care about LeBron.
Yep.
I'm not saying that we don't care anyway. I mean, brothers may watch basketball and stuff, but we not. If we see LeBron, walk past the camp, we'll if he stopped by, we might be like, hey, what
Hmm.
the MOTB is like, how the brothers did in the Florida
Waka
camp,
Flocka.
yeah. And if he, say yeah, that he want to talk shit, I mean, go about your day. Yeah, we know who you are. We don't. That don't matter. The Lord don't care about that.
Yep. Yeah. I think with LeBron too, you know, the NBA, if I remember correctly, is not getting all the views.
Yeah,
So they
it's
need,
rigged.
yeah, they need their cash cow. And just me speaking as man, and a lot of people has also came out and said that he's taking steroids, man. He's taking
Uh,
some performance enhancing, to keep his, not for muscle growth or anything. It's just to keep his youth up in the sport, to keep him from injured, or if he gets injured, right, he'll heal faster. I remember when he had this one leg injury, even out of his own mouth, he said the doctor said I was healing faster than anyone else that ever had this injury. You know, and the only reason you can attest for that if old boy, especially at his age, was taking something, man. And so, you know, you go into hey, didn't Percocet P get in trouble the other day? Right? Percocet P ain't on the level of LeBron James. LeBron James is that cash cow. You know, the people hear his name and they want to watch the show. You know, shoot, I'm speaking for myself. You know, I'm still a huge LeBron James fan. You know, but doesn't mean I'm like these other people and idolize them. You see,
Yeah,
the other people they idolize these people, and LeBron has to be in the game because you know, he's their cash cow. You know, and he has the consolation, so he doesn't get in trouble. Just me speaking as a man and see how things is going. He doesn't get in trouble because for taking those performance enhancements, man. You know, like everybody else would, because he's making that money, man. And with him making that money, is he gonna take heed unto this truth? The scriptures speak of not many rich men. You know, it's harder for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of heaven. It's not mean that it's impossible, but it's just harder because they're giving all their time and effort to the game instead of this truth, man. You know?
yeah. They rig a lot of these games where they get fouled or you know they they don't really play defense and allowing this nigga to get all these damn points because he got the most points in NBA history or whatever. He probably wanted that, and they probably changed up the game and a lot of things just for him to get to that point, right? And I know he be doing them little hand gestures before the games and stuff, and beating on his chest. That all goes back to occultism and stuff like that.
Yep.
Witchcraft, and he got that tattoo on his chest. That goes back to the black boule. So the LeBron's not innocent, man. Who cares about he ain't never been in the news for no big scandal or nothing? That's because of he covers up his tracks with Esau, man. He does everything that Esau wants him to do. That's why. This man ain't gonna repent. I seen I don't know if I told you this, but I seen what's that basketball player? Rajon Rondo. I seen him a couple months
Yeah.
ago. And, we wasn't at camp or nothing, so I was just out and about and I seen him. And I said, I said what's up to him and all that. But if we was at camp, it would have been a different story because I didn't go up to him and say, yeah, you Israelite, you need to repent. I didn't say
Yeah,
that because
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
out and about, handling his business or whatever, and I just seen him walk in or whatever, and I said what's up to him, and what's going on, and that's it. But if we were at camp and he would have walked by or and stopped, I would have told him, hey, about this, about that, and if he would have scoffed, I mean, I'd be like, hey, Rondo, go, hey, just do your thing, man. You're gonna be destroyed, but do your thing, man. You was put on this earth now to get this worldly fame in Esau's kingdom, but you're not a part of the elect.
Yep. Hey, what was that, Jake? We told him what we said. You know, we was watching that video. Like, bruh, if you gonna do all that, you need to go out to camp, man, because you got them over righteous Jake.
Um,
Talking to Duke Dennis, who was
yeah,
it?
yeah. And that nigga was not listening. That nigga just had on
Yep.
them damn dark shades and he was just he looked like he was, I don't know if he was on some drugs or he was just relaxed. I don't know.
You see,
He wasn't listening, man. These Jakes in the world, they don't care, man. You got a spiritual block blocking them, man. They're not understanding. They're not meant to get this truth.
hmm yeah, and that's why you do your lessons and you go out here on the highways and byways, man. And this truth is only for the elect. The scriptures say, "Give not thy pearl unto swines and to the dogs, least they trample on them," man. You know, pretty much spit in your face. You know, because you got these Jakes, they be, not listening, man. You had one Jake that was talking to Kevin Gates, telling him this was years ago, man. Telling him,
I remember him.
yeah, you remember that?
Yeah, I remember him.
You see,
He didn't care.
yeah, he didn't care. He was like, yeah, all right, cool. You know, you wasting your time, Jake. This is only for the elect, man. The scriptures say not many, just roughly paraphrase, I'm just say high profile people of this world is meant to get this truth, man. But yeah, this is where I want to get it with LeBron James. I don't know if you remember that years ago with
Con,
him
I
praying.
thought about that picture. Con.
Yeah, this ain't the exact picture, but he was out there praying and holding hands with the Amalekites, man. And if you see that picture, he looked very uncomfortable.
Yeah, he know he got to
Matter
do
of fact,
that
here it
to.
is, Slocky. Here it is. Here it is. Here it
Uh,
is. That might be one of them.
yeah, he looked like he weirded out, man. I mean, hey, you chose that life, man, and you want to be a part of it.
So yeah, just me speaking as a man and seeing how things is rolling. Bruh is most definitely juiced in. He's most definitely juiced in, and he has to take orders. When that Curry jump shot was implemented, what happened? He had to be an advocate for it. He threw Kyrie Irving under the bus for it. So don't be surprised when this thing, the MOTB, gets implemented. He might be one of the ones to be an advocate for it. Once again, just like he was for the Curry 3.
Uh, I got this precept in First Maccabees 1:11. Right? It says, in those days went there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are around about us, for since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. And he's one of many Jakes that are, rich in this world. They got success on this side, and they gotta do what you saw saying, man. Because you don't get all that money for no reason. It comes with a price, whether it be your life or somebody that you know's life. It is your life ultimately because you gonna be get destroyed for all the stuff that you've done as far as behind the scenes deals and behind the scenes agreements that you've made with this man, and you now seeking the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I got this right here. I quoted it earlier. 1 Corinthians 1 and verse 26. For you see your calling, brethren, how that not many wise men after the flesh, and not many mighty, and not many noble are called. We just gave you example. LeBron James, Duke Dennis, who else? Kevin Gates,
yep.
right? But power have chosen the foolish things of this world to confound the wise, and power have chosen the weak things of this world to confound the things which are mighty, and the base things of the world, and the things which are despised. Power have chosen, yea, the things which are not, to bring to naught the things that are, and no flesh should glory in his presence. So yeah, the Lord is using, all right, the men that you would call base men to confound the wise men of this world. You see, because we're truly the true wise men. We're despised because of this gospel that we preach. And we're despised because Yahushua was despised first. The servant is not above his master, right? They hated Yahushua. They hated what Yahushua was preaching, how Yahushua was moving, how much more the men of the Lord now, right?
If I'm
And
not
these,
mistaken, Salakiak, this
you
is
good, brother?
if I'm not mistaken, I believe I saw a video some couple years ago. I thought it was the elder in Hawaii, and it was out there at camp, and um I think there was that celebrity Jake. I think it was Marshawn Lynch or something. I
It's
think he was like,
Marshawn Lynch.
yeah, he was riding around on a bike, and and the elder was, I think he said something to him. I forgot what he said, but um, Jake in the world, Jake, got success on his side, which really ain't real success. It's you only got crumbs of what Esau got, but he just kept riding past and didn't have time to hear it, and he went about his day, man. And the elder, got on his ass,
Yep.
rightfully so. These Jakes don't care, man. They think this is the kingdom of heaven. They think that this is the end all be all. That's what they really think because they got it on their side. They don't
Mhm.
have faith of the things that you can't see, right? That's where faith comes in. Is you gotta believe that we have what's coming next is the kingdom, but you can't see it on the side. All you see is wickedness everywhere you go. botsy, man. Weirdos everywhere. People,
Mm-hmm.
people looking disease ridden, which they are. you know, these Jakes, they care about this side. That's all they care about. They don't care about nothing else. And the niggas gonna die. That's what's gonna happen.
Yep. Matter of fact, Marshall Lynch, he has a penthouse or some type of house over there in Hawaii. So yeah, with the brothers being over there in Hawaii, and he heard the word, because I remember doing a lesson on it years ago when it happened. You know, Jake marked himself. You know, and that video I remember specifically. That video got a whole bunch of views on it.
Uh,
You know, so even more, the Jakes that came across that video, man. You know, if they didn't take heed, they marked themselves as well.
DDG, that wicked ass nigga, that nigga gonna be destroyed, man.
Yeah,
I used to watch that nigga when I was in the world, before I was in the truth. So it was a while ago, but I've seen. I remember when I used to watch when I was in the world before he got to where he is now.
yeah,
He was. I would say he was, I guess, humble in a sense, but once he started getting all that money and all that fame, and he started getting real big, that shit make you proud, man. Put a
yeah,
spirit on you, you know because you think you can't be touched. You in that Nebuchadnezzar spirit, where you think you got everything and it can't nothing happen to you. And then
yep,
that nigga walked past the camp and cussed out the Lord, man. The Lord gonna destroy that nigga, man.
yeah,
You cursed your own God, man, because that nigga's an Israelite, but you think that, you got it on this side and you got, all these riches and stuff like that. The Lord don't care about none of that. The Lord created everything that you see. And you
yep.
just going to understand death by pain, as it says in the book of Second Esdras.
Hmm. It's all good, Jake. It's all good. Like you said, that death by pain, they gonna get it. They gonna feel it. They gonna be wishing that they took heed.
Let me get that real quick, like unless you got a scripture real quick.
Go ahead, brother.
It's Second Esdras 9 in verse 9. It says, "And then shall they be in pitiful case which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments, for such in their life has received benefits and have not known me, and they have loathed my law while they yet had liberty, and when yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it. The same must know it after death by pain."
Hmm.
So you Jakes, man, that receive benefits, you enjoyed this, you enjoyed that, you got all these riches and these material possessions. Hey, you gonna know about death by pain, like the scriptures say. Because you
Yep.
despised the law of life that was for you. You're an Israelite.
It's all good, Jake. It's all good. They gonna feel it, man. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get this right here. So I may jump around in Ezekiel 6. Ezekiel 6 and verse 11, thus saith Yahweh power, smite thine hand and step thy foot, and say, Alas, for all the evil abominations of the house of Israel. Check this, for they shall fall by the sword, and by famine, and by pestilence. You think this is a game, Jake? Keep thinking this is a game, Jake, and see what's going to happen to you, man. Right? He that is far off shall die of the pestilence, and he that is near shall fall by the sword, and he that remaineth in the besieged shall die of famine. Thus I will accomplish my fury upon them. That death by pain, man. You think this is a game, Jake? That death by pain is coming. Matter of fact, I'll get some more. I'll get 13 and 14. Then shall ye know that I am the Lord Yahweh Bashmiel. Yeah, DEG. Since you want to curse the name of the Lord, you don't want to take heed, you want to get that money, but then be in that proud, pompous spirit and not give praises to the Lord, which ultimately the Lord is the one that gave you that money. And but you want to curse him out. Yeah, yeah, you have your consolation, man.
Hey, Brandon T. Jackson, which he called himself so called the truth, but she really wasn't, you know.
Yep. Shaving his beard,
Dread duty
dread,
locks.
doing some weird shit. Let's see. Then ye shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shah. Where the slain of men shall be among their idols around the altars upon high hills and in all the tops of the mountains in every green tree and every thick oak. the place where they did offer sweet savor to all their idols. You see, Jake took the time out of his day to serve these gods of wood and stone, man. Right? Rather they serving, all these other gods. You know what Jake do. You know what these other heathens do in their temples, right? Jake following after them in their abominations, going to church, and all that type of stuff, right? So check this. So will I stretch out my hand upon them, and I will make the land desolate, yea, more desolate than the wilderness towards Dibalath. In all their habitations shall they know that I am the Lord Yahweh Shah. You see, they're going to know, they're going to face and feel the wrath of Yahweh Shah. Go ahead, brother.
This is Proverbs 1 and verse. I'll give verse 24. It says, because I have called and you refused, I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded, but you have set at not all my counsel and with none of my reproof. I will also laugh at your calamity, and I will mock when your fear cometh. As when your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when destruction anguish should come upon you. So when your stomach touching your damn back, when you see your baby, you got a child, you wicked Jake, about to die, or your woman, she about to get taken, because I can say the other word, you
Yep.
know, you gonna be crying and trying to shout out to the Lord, and he ain't gonna hear you, man. He gonna laugh at you, you
Yep.
know. And a lot of men of the Lord, he gonna laugh at you through them because you heard this word and you didn't care. You said what you said and you meant what you said, and the Lord didn't forget that. The Lord has a hit list, man, and he got a lot of you niggas on it, man. That Christianity, man, Esau did a wonder with that
Yeah.
Christianity, man, because he got you niggas thinking that you gonna be forgived or, the Lord always loves you, man. No, it ain't how it works, man. The God that we serve is, and he will take your ass out, man, just like that, if he
Yep.
want to. And he can do that. He's our God. We was created, Jake. We didn't create ourselves, man.
Hey, matter of fact, look at hey, Esau Edom gave y'all that Christianity, and he also gave you that Kemet shit.
Yep.
you know?
I seen that Jake yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. I think I was like on the YouTube live section thing, and I scrolled down on accident. I seen like this Jake. He had on like this full Kemet Egyptian. I don't know what he had on. He had on like a damn necklace and Egyptian hat and the Ankh and stuff. And he was basically saying something about the Bible. I think he was talking about Christianity. He was like, you got to save yourself. He was basically preaching that message. I'm like, this nigga bugged out.
Yeah.
This nigga got his whole belly showing. I'm like, hell nah.
Yeah, I'm tired of these niggas, man. Hey, look at Polite, man. Look at where he at. All right. Look at where he at.
Hey,
And that's just
them men in that jail, they made polite they delight.
uh,
That's what they did.
hey, I wouldn't be surprised, man. Because you got a lot of men that don't play with that. And if you go into what he did, you know, there's if you there's many prison stories here on YouTube, and hey, a lot of men don't play with that, man.
Nope.
Even though that they may have taken out somebody to the spiritual realm, they got so-called morals, when it comes to little children, man, and they hear you did that. Oh yeah, they after your ass, man. I got this right here. I'm gonna get Ezekiel 6:2. Son of man, set thy face toward the mountains of Israel and prophesied against them, and say, ye mountains of Israel, hear the words of Yahweh power. Thus saith Yahweh power to the mountains and to the hills and to the rivers and to the valleys. Behold, even I will bring a sword upon you, and I will destroy your high places. You see? So that sword, right, is being sharpened, is being furbished. It's gonna it's going to touch you Israelites, man. Y'all gonna feel the Lord's wrath. And a lot of it is going to be through Esau Edom. And your altars shall be desolate, your images shall be broken, and I will cast down your slain before your idols. and I will lay the dead carcasses of the children of Israel before their idols. So don't be surprised if a lot of y'all be piled up in them churches.
Yep.
Don't be surprised, man. Or whatever God that you serving, don't be surprised, man. Right? Because Jake is in everything, man. Right? And I will scatter your bones round about your altars. Right? There's nothing new under the sun. It's going to happen again. And all your dwelling places in the cities shall be laid waste, and the high places shall be desolate. Your altars shall be laid waste and made desolate. Your idols may be broken and cease. Your images may be cut down, and your works may be abolished. And the slain shall fall in the midst of you, and ye shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh Shah. And if you take heed, it's like if you take notice, it constantly keeps on saying that you shall know the Lord. Know that the Lord did this, I did this. The Lord did this, Matter of fact, I'm gonna give verse 8. Check this. Yet will I leave a remnant that ye may have some that escape the sword among the nations when ye shall be scattered through the countries. And Yahweh, we of that remnant that's going to escape this incoming destruction, right? But yeah, Jake got to learn the hard way. Jake got to see. But yeah, Aki, if you got anything.
Kyle, this is Judges 10 and 13. It says, "Yet ye have forsaken me and served other gods. Wherefore I will deliver you no more. Go and cry unto the gods which ye have chosen, and let them deliver you in your time of tribulation." And that's what the Lord's going to, allow you to do. Call upon them, and your ass gonna die with that God that don't exist.
Yep.
You're gonna die right next to that cross, in that church. You're gonna die at the mosque, if you in Islam, or if you a damn Jake that's into Egyptology, you might die next to a damn altar with a damn statue of a pharaoh, man. It's gonna fall over and just get crushed because it don't exist. You worshiping something that you made with your own hands or somebody else made.
Yeah.
Can't nobody carve a sculpture of our God. It can't happen. He exists without these things. He created everything that you see. That's why the Lord don't want you to worship these things.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's not how it gets down. But if you do, you're gonna be destroyed.
Hey.
So it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. It's all good. Jake has to constantly learn things the hard way over and over. And this time is the last time you're gonna learn things the hard way. Right? You're gonna come in the kingdom.
Hold on,
Are you good, buddy? You good, brother? You gotta go.
Yeah, let him know to come back. Yeah, hold on,
Oh, you good,
I'm
brother?
about to probably end the live listen.
Con. Well, matter of fact, we'll just end it right there. Yahweh designs and Ephraim. Listen. Shalom. Abba Babal.
Shalom, shalom.
Inshallah.
Shalom.